All right, here's how I think the Broncos could get Trent Williams if they wanted to, Tyler. They could drop back in the first round and accumulate 2 number 2s, and with those 2 number 2s, use those for the Redskins to get Trent Williams, and then give me a number, 22, 23, still get a wide receiver. They could do that. Now, it wouldn't be one of the top wide receivers, but they could, get whoever they were going to get in the second round. They don't have to mess around. They could just go get that person. And then your draft would be dropping back Jalen Reagor, who, by the way, I've seen mocked in the first round, and then Trent Williams. And now you go on with your third-round picks. How's that sounding?
I think it's fantastic. I would love to do it, but let's think a little bit more specific here. So if we were to trade back, give me a number. How far back are we trading?
Oh, man, who would want to trade up, first of all? You got to find a partner, right? You got to find somebody who would want to trade up.
Okay, we don't have to be ultra specific. More or less.
Patriots want to trade up. Because
number 23.
The Patriots do decide to not go with my conspiracy theory, and they decide to go get Jordan Love.
Okay, let's say we drop all the way back to 23. So Jerry Jeudy off the board.
Jerry Judy's off the board.
Henry Ruggs off the board.
Yes.
Let's see. Gosh, those are the only 2 that are guaranteed to be off the board by then. More than likely off the board by then.
Well, CeeDee Lamb will be off the board.
CeeDee Lamb for sure. Yep. He's either going to be number 1 or number 2 in my book. So I think you'll have probably 3 wide receivers selected by the time you get to number 23, and you're going to have guys like T. Higgins. He might be available.
Yep.
Denzel Mims might be available.
Justin Jefferson
might be available.
Claypool from Notre Dame.
I mean, come on. What are our real goals here out of the number 15 pick, right? It's an interesting question, and actually, the more I think about it, the more I kind of feel like trading back makes sense.
Yeah,
and number 15, hold on for just 1 second.
Yeah.
At number 15, if you select a wide receiver, aren't you thinking at number 15, I'm taking a generational type of talent?
Correct.
I'm taking a number 1 wide receiver in number 15. I'm taking a guy that in theory is better than Cortland Sutton, right? Well, we don't really need that.
Correct.
That's not our team needs. Our team needs are a number 2 wide receiver, right? And certainly somebody in that mix could be a very capable number 2 wide receiver.
Correct, and I heard Skipper and Gilligan this morning, and they were having basically the same conversation, and I tended to agree with them. Because isn't your number 1 receiver Cortland Sutton?
That's where I got that.
Right. Well, no, it was good.
Yeah.
I'll give credit where credit's due.
For sure.
And I agree. Like at 15, that's your number 1 guy. Well, what is Cortland Sutton? He's not your number 1 guy? So the more that I think about that, you could still, and I heard Mike Kliss say earlier today on the air, that the Broncos are not taking any receiver later than 46. Okay, fine. Meaning if they don't do it in the first round, they're certainly going to do it at 46, if not, if they can't move up. Okay, so fine.
Why? I don't understand that. Why?
That's just where their heads are at. It's going to happen. That's just where the team's at.
Okay, well, that feels silly to me. I mean, you could find a number 2 wide receiver later, but okay.
What can I tell you? And I get it. I mean, they did make a decision not to go with Perryman or Robbie Anderson, who we saw today go for a big contract, 10 per, which is what you thought. You thought that's what he would go for, and he did. That the Broncos would be able to just move back, but instead of just moving back and talk about a crapshoot, it was just let's move back and Noah Fant's there, let's go with Noah Fant. It's wow, you can move back because the depth is so great at wide receiver.
You could have an educated guess on this one.
Absolutely.
Unlike Noah Fant, where you just got lucky and you took whoever was the best available, you could have an educated guess that if I move back to number 23, there will be 3 wide receivers that are worthy of being selected in the first round.
All right,
that's a pretty educated guess. That's good.
Now you have, because you moved back, you've got 2 second-round picks. And in all honesty, Tyler, not only would you have 2 second-round picks, and this is the deal they did last year, this is how they more or less got Drew Lock. not only would you have 2 second-round picks because you just made this deal with the New England Patriots, okay? You would also have 3 third-round picks. Who knows who you can bundle that up with to move back to maybe have a 3rd second-round pick. But at the minimum, the Broncos should have 2 second-round picks in this draft, which is when we do our
Wait, we don't. I think we already have 3 third rounders, don't we?
We have 3 third rounders right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. So who would be worth more to you? Would a deal for your guy, would Trent Williams, would a deal for him make more sense than taking Austin Jackson or Josh Jones or Cesar Ruiz at center or Tyler Biadasz, right? I mean, would that make more sense to use those 2 second-round picks for one dude like Trent Williams?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what are your goals? Are your goals to draft a developmental tackle that maybe is a quality starter in the NFL? Because that's who you're getting in Josh Jones. You know, you got a developmental guy that he projects well, but he's not ready to go. I mean, Trent Williams is ready to go, and he's got probably 4 to 5 years of football left in the tank.
I think it's pretty solid, dude. I mean, why not?
I guess the real question is, do we have the cash? You know, not just the cap space, because we can turn it all around. And I don't really know the answer to it. I mean, Trent is going to cost. I don't think he's going to get 20, which is what he wants. But you know, let's call it 18. Let's round down to 18. He gets $18 million per season. That's a lot of money. That's tough to come by.
That's pretty good, man. And how old is Trent?
Trent's 30, 31, something like that.
So he's got 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This just seems like a no-brainer.
Doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
I don't understand why haven't we been in on this? You know, the only team that I know of that has really been in on Trent Williams is the Browns. Allegedly they offered a first rounder in the middle of the season and the Redskins turned it down. I don't know if I entirely buy that, because that seems like a pretty good deal to me, but they are still attached to it, and they're still the name that pops up the most with Trent. Outside of that, I don't know why we haven't heard about the Broncos at least having conversations.
All right. Well, we'll keep our eyes on. That's a good question too, and you know, I know Cliff, my man, is listening, so maybe he can throw out his 2 cents, and we'll talk to Nikki later. And I don't know. And frankly, why don't you reach out to Trent? To be honest with you,
you know what? I have. I didn't get much back other than how are the kids? That's what I got back.
All right. Well, I don't know. Why wouldn't Trent want to come here? By the way, you know, like.
Well, because he's trying to leave the Redskins and he wants to go to a team that he knows is going to win a championship. Broncos are looking brighter. It's looking better. It's looking more optimistic. But, I mean, if he could handpick his team, he's not going to pick the Broncos.
Oh, really? You think if he had
Yeah.
Who do you think would give him a better option?
To start, anybody. I mean, he would start for any team in the NFL.